Belize Jaguars. As we all know that they're preparing for an upcoming Central American tournament that will be starting in September. And so tonight is the start of that journey for our A national team.
And it has to be the best way, Ray, because the more times you get to play together, the better you will get to understand each other. And that's a key thing, even in the local teams, even in the competition, in the PLB. Whenever our team plays an 11 every time, they get to understand much better. And tonight is the first one for the A team.
And what we want to do tonight, Freddie, we want to commend the teams in the league that release their international players to come out here tonight and support what is happening when it comes to our national team. I just want to mention that 5 of the players that was selected by the Belmopan Bandits haven't showed up for this match tonight. And, you know, I was having a discussion with members of the Belmopan Bandits management staff, and they were saying that these players, they have agent that they're playing under, and so they would have to get that release from their agent and not from the team manager. So that is understandable, and that is the reason why tonight they are not out on the pitch. But nonetheless, a game will be on tonight because of the fact that we have international players like Sagastume, who came out as the best goalkeeper in the opening season. We have Roberto Silva, and if you all remember Roberto Silva, that was the goal there at the Norman Brasa Stadium, that memorable goal in Game 1 of the championship series in the opening season, and also the MVP of the championship series. And so we have those great players will be on the pitch. Anderson Cordoba, the Colombian, he will be on the pitch for the
Paco
international
Thomas will
team.
be there as well.
Alcides Paco Thomas. So tonight's game is not going to be just an entertainment game. Tonight's game is going to be for real to test what this national team that we are putting together have.
And those other 5 players would have made it even more challenging for the Jaguars tonight. Really, it's sad that they are not here tonight, but nonetheless, it will be a very interesting game for our national team. This is the main interest here is our national team, where they will get the best out of this match tonight.
I want to just mention also that 3 Belizean national players will be playing with the international guys to make up a team, and we have John King that will be playing with them. Also, Christian Lopez and young Norman Anderson Jr. will be on the side of the international players, and maybe, Freddie, we should find a country for those guys. They are not officially Belizean for this game tonight, so we'll need to find a country for those 3 guys. I'm just going to say, well, they're from Ghana. These 3 guys are playing from out of Ghana.
Well, you got very far. I wouldn't go west. I would even go north. So, because we will, we won't see any Mexicans tonight, because actually one of them were Mexican, Hector Martinez, one of the players are not here tonight. So, if anything, we'll go. We'll go north. But anyway, one way or the other, from Ghana, from Nigeria, the important part is that they are playing tonight, and they are supporting this cause
and they are
to our Jaguars.
They are a part of our A national team, talking about Christian Lopez and young Norman Anderson Jr., 2 of the young under 20 players that has been selected to try out for this team that will be going to that tournament in September. But what we want to do, I wanted to encourage Belize, and I thought that we would have had quite a number of people out here tonight to witness this game. Come on, it's only $5. Support the national team, because we know that financing take the preparation for our national team a long way. And maybe they're waiting for the game that will be played on the 22nd.
That's next week, Thursday.
Right. You know, so against Grenada. But what we would like to do, because they have one more match after this, which will be next week Tuesday, they will be playing a selection from the PLB, and so we'd want to encourage Belizean from tonight. Come on, man, don't stay home. Not because the game is being televised on TNC, you will stay home and watch it. This is a time for you to contribute and contribute to something very positive.
Let the game be for people like that are living in Punta Gorda, living in Corozal. You know, these people cannot travel up and down, but people that are here, Salvapan, Mayamapan, Valley of Peace, Roaring Creek, these are the time you have to support your Jaguars. Cotton Tree, St. Matthew, all those areas that are close by, Armenia, you can come here. Let's join these Jaguars and let's ride with them all the way. So, for now, we have the players already on the pitch and they're getting warm up already, because this is almost at the beginning of this great matchup.
All right, what we'll do, we'll take a break, and then when we come back, we'll continue with our pregame show here from the Isidoro Beaton Stadium in the capital city, Belmopan. You're watching this friendly, I can't say PLB, but you're watching tonight's friendly between our Jaguars and the international players from the PLB. We'll be right back. Yes, one more time.
away from family doesn't mean being away from home. And the greatest gift we could think of was keeping you connected to the ones you love.
Daddy?
Hey, baby.
Hi, Daddy.
Make sure you send us a lot of videos.
Tons of videos, tons of pictures. I'll see you soon, okay?
Love you. Bye.
Yeah, love you. Look at the horses. Look at the horses. Really wish you were here. Can't wait to be home.
We know that in today's busy business environment, you need banking to be fast, flexible, and convenient. With Belize Bank's free online banking, you can process employee payroll, make Social Security contributions, make GST payments, process customs duty payments, view account information, pay bills, and more. Sign up for Belize Bank online today and spend more time focusing on what matters most, the success of your business. Belize Bank Online. Easy, convenient, secure.
As a family, you share family time, playtime, celebration time, anytime. Smart Family Share Plan handles the text, call, and data part. You get a plan for 5 people. Unlimited calls within the group. 1,480 national minutes, 10 gigabytes to share, while each member gets 200 SMS. And the plan admin gets unlimited calls and texts to any smart number. Now you'd think that's a big bill every month. Well, this is the best part. This plan values at $980, but you get it for only $150. So for $150 a month, you get to share data, text, and calls at an unbelievable low monthly price. The family that shares together stays together. Smart, bringing people together.
Follow the National Channel Facebook fan page and be the first to get all your sports updates. Watch your favorite team play live from the comforts of your home. You can also stream all our live events with our watch video button, all in high definition. For more information, you can also message us right here on our fan page. The National Channel, your entertainment and information station. The future of broadcasting in Belize.
Welcome back to our pre-game show. Tonight pre-game show is being brought to you by Central TV and Internet. Belize Bank, our country, your bank, smart, bringing people together, and Westra. Customer satisfaction is our goal, and we want to take a look at our A team, the Belize Jaguars, and we have Denmark Casey will be in the starting lineup, and so it's good to see once again that Denmark Casey was invited into camp for the Belize Jaguars to try out to make this team for that upcoming tournament in September. Also, we have a young player like Tremaine Harris, number 9. He's also one of the players that was selected to be a part of the players that will be trying out for this A national team. And so we see that there's a change in the guard, if I should put it that way, where some of the older players have been exempted from this list of players. And, you know, there's a lot of bickering out there in the general society about why the Federation decided to go with some of the young players. But I think that that is the way we must go. We can't have our young, talented players only playing here in the top league. We need to give them these international exposure when they come around, and what a great opportunity this will be for our young players. So, you know, I have to commend the Football Federation of Belize as to what they're doing when it comes to getting young players on our A national team.
At least the goleador is here tonight. Luis, number 11.
Luis Torres.
Luis Torres, yes. I always forget his last name. Yeah, Luis Torres is here. So, hey, It's not any players. This is the top players of Belize. The A team, the Jaguars, is playing tonight against the international players. And these international players, of course, have proven themselves in the PLB, Ray, and that's one very important factor of this match. That is not any players that we just went and picked. It's the best players internationally that are in the PLB at the moment.
Yes, and I want to say that Coach Palmiro Salas is given the opportunity to train our national team. That does not mean that he will be the head coach that will be taking the team to that tournament in September, but he has been given the opportunity by the Football Federation of Belize to prepare our A national team. One of the players that we have to talk about on the international side is Inri Gonzaga. And I just want to mention that tomorrow night on Sports Talk, I will have an half an hour in-depth discussion about Inri Gonzaga. I'll be showing you the video footage of what occurred out there on the island of San Pedro. Inri was given a 14-month suspension, and that is something that I will be talking about tomorrow night on my show. So I want Belizean to tune in as I tapped into that Inri Gonzaga situation.
It's very important because it is tough. It is a harsh decision taken on him, and again, we just want to be open. We just want to make sure everything is balanced, and like you all heard already, Reed will have tomorrow the entire story and everything. So I will be tuning in for sure, really, because I want to know exactly what transpired.
And I hope you don't only tune in, I hope you call in, because of the fact, like I say, I am privy to have in my possession the video footage of what escalated out there.
Yes.
And from what I understand, just to tap a little bit into it, that the decision was made by the disciplinary committee is not the right decision.
Yes.
It's nowhere in the world I ever heard a player getting suspended for 14 months. I heard player getting banned.
Yes.
Or getting 2 years suspension.
You're out.
Just an example of what happened the other day in the over 40 when that player from I think it's Yabra broke the jaw of the referee.
Yes.
I think he is banned for 2 years from football.
Exactly.
But you know, from when I show you that video footage tomorrow, and what I heard that the disciplinary committee made their decision on, it's far off from what the video is showing.
Of course. And I, for instance, have an international example, and that would be Pando Ramirez in Guatemala. He was caught in the middle of a situation there, and he was banned forever. He cannot play internationally in any way. So these are examples, but these are definitely occasions where it was merited. But for a player to get 14 months, I mean, it's a lot. It's too much, you know. So in my opinion, I see it that way, that it's too many months. You know, he could have been at 4 or 5 games. But again, we have to tune in tomorrow to find out much more of what transpired here, because I myself want to find out why.
Well, I'll be having the juicy part of this whole
No
situation for you, Freddie. And, you know, Freddie, I must say that, and I think that you will agree with me, that we are here for the league.
Yes.
We will fight for the league when it's necessary to fight for the league. But we also have to fight for the players.
Yes.
We must fight for the players because of the fact that I think it's an injustice was done there.
Yes.
They have the right to appeal it, but you know the appeal come with a huge cost.
Of course. And
you
we champion fair play. Let's put it that way, Ray. Wherever fair play is, that's where we're going to be, because you got to be balanced. And again, the appeal, as costly as it might be, I hope they do appeal, because it is a very important thing in here. I mean, we cannot just allow this player to be punished that way and no appeal will be filed. Let's see what transpires in the weeks coming.
Yes, San Pedro will file an appeal with the PLB, and they will have to review it again, and then we'll see what will happen of that appeal. And so tonight we're getting set to bring you...
They already appeal. They already appeal. Yes. Being informed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we are getting ready to bring you this matchup between our A national team, the Belize Jaguars, as they'll be going up against the international players of the PLB. The officials for tonight's game: the referee is Alan Botes, the first assistant Juan Colindres, the second assistant Adrian Chavarria, the fourth official Rogelio Bennett, match commissioner Leroy Romero, and the referee assessor David H. Jones. So those are the officials for tonight, the first of 3 friendlies that will be happening right here in Belize. The next one will be on next week, Tuesday, when the Jaguars will be going up against selection from the PLB, and then on the 22nd, which is a Thursday night. And Belizean, I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out tonight to come on out and let's support these young, talented players that we have that will be taking part, you know, at least going to try out for this A national team. They'll be going up against Grenada on Thursday night right here at the Isidoro Beaton Stadium. The cost for that game is, if you purchase your ticket now, it's $15. At the gate on game night, it will be $20. So come on out, go get your tickets. They're available at the Football Federation of Belize, and there's also another ticket outlet. But I just can't remember the Football Federation of Belize. They will have tickets on sale right there. Go there, purchase your ticket in advance, and let's fill the Isidoro Beaton Stadium come next week, Thursday night, when Grenada comes to town, and let's support our national boys.
That's the one way of fundraising Belizeans, and we have to support our national team, the Jaguars, from now. One time, as many games as the national team may have coming up to that important tournament, we must come out and show our love and our support, and one way or the other, you will be financially aiding these players for them to go into this very important tournament in September.
As you can see, the flags, the national flag of Belize being presented on the pitch, and also the FIFA flag being presented here tonight. It is, and we want you to stay with us for our full coverage tonight, because what you will be seeing, like I mentioned, I'm going to talk about this throughout our broadcast tonight, is our young international talented players. As you can see, Shane Moody, Denmark Casey, Luis Torres, Luis Torres getting that opportunity to ride alongside Elroy Smith. So you know what those two guys are doing right now in the PLB. Elroy Smith coming in as a leading goal scorer tonight, followed by Luis Torres with 6 goals. And so those guys on the same team, is a very good 1-2 punch.
Yeah, what a game, man. Everybody's lined up. I like the way the players came out, Ray. They came up very energetic. They want to show their enthusiasm against this first game of a few that the national team will be playing, as the president of the FFB said that they will use all their FIFA dates.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup for our A team, the Belize Jaguars. And tonight we have Denmark Casey will be starting tonight. Jaren Lambe, Dalton Ely. The starting lineup tonight is Denmark Casey, Dalton Ely, Ian Guinea, Hiking Roberts, Daniel Jimenez, Elroy Quillen, Jaren Lambe, Victor Mihir, Shane Ario will be in goal, Elroy Smith, and Luis Torres. That is the starting lineup for our national team. The starting lineup for the international players: we have Anderson Cordoba from Verdes, we have Gabriel Chavez, Inri Gonzaga from San Pedro, Melson Mora from San Pedro, Carlos Pertsu from San Pedro, Selvin Sagastume from Verdes, Roberto Silva from Verdes, Aloisio Teixeira from Verdes, Alcides Thomas from Verdes, John King, and Christian Lopez. So as we mentioned, 2 of our national guys will be teaming up with the international guys to make this one an interesting game tonight.
And it's good that the 2 of our players are on the other side, because that way it's not only 11 Belizeans, it will be 13 Belizeans that will be out there at all time, So this is very good, because the extra 2 will also have a lot of minutes out there, and the more minutes these players have, the better they will get at it. As we see, all 4 referees have split off, and the referee, the 4th referee, and the 2 assistants each have gone to check the goals and make sure everything is set.
I don't know what the word to use, but I would have loved to see this stadium with at least 500, 600, 700 Belizeans sitting in this stadium right now to support our Jaguars. It starts from here, Belize. It starts from here. And the worst thing that can happen is that the people that does not contribute to the development of what is happening is the first to criticize what is happening, Freddie. And it's a sick and sad feeling.
Yes.
I would have wanted to have fans in here cheering our boys from now, so they could have that feel, that the Belizean people are behind them, and motivate them from now,
It's very important, Ray, that whenever you come to a stadium, the first thing is you want to feel that love from your people. And the Jaguars, of course, came today with that image, with that illusion to make sure they can see their people here. People are coming in, but we want to see much more than that. And now the match is on, as Norman Anderson has in control. We quickly want to see him in action. Tonight he's wearing number 2, by the way. So Norman Anderson as Anderson Cordova, it will be the captain for tonight's match for the international side.
Gabriel Chavez will be sweeping tonight for the international players, and he also plays for San Pedro Pirates.
That number 3, Gabriel Chavez, right? So we're seeing a very good energy tonight in this match, as we see already Victor Mejia, Dalton Ely, and Gainier will be behind for the national team.
A very strong defensive line, I must say, for our Jaguars.
Solid, very solid defense, and Norman Anderson will pass it over to Teixeira. Teixeira playing tonight with number 12. As quickly they're touching from one side to the other. Cordova playing tonight actually in the area he wanted to play, in the middle field. So let's see how much he will do tonight in there. As we see the international players moving around, international / Belizean team. No, I would say international player because they are from Ghana. You said they are from Ghana, so.
Yeah.
Number 2 is from Ghana, right?
Officially, Norman Anderson is playing from out of Ghana tonight. You know, just to keep it international, but like I said, it's just a great opportunity for these young players.
Yes.
You know, he'll be getting a lot of playing time tonight because of the fact that the international guys, they're short-handed. John King is also out there, number 9 for the international players. One of the guys from Belize that is playing on that side of the pitch. And so let's see what will develop as we're unofficially 2 minutes in the first half of this ball game. And we see that the international players, they are now on the attack.
Yes, as we saw Mora a while ago having a little bit of problem out there. But Paco Thomas coming way down, trying to steal it from number 8 tonight. And that's the captain in the Bandits, and also the captain in the Jaguars, Elroy Smith. The man on top tonight as well in the list of goalers in the PLB. Then Marquesi, number 12. Passing it around to Dalton Ely. Dalton Ely will look around, goes over to his captain. His captain having a little bit of problem finding control, gets to connect with Denmark Casey. Casey will go back to Gainier.
It will be interesting tonight to see how these Jaguars hold possession.
Yes.
And not only holding possession, where are they holding possession when they're on the pitch? Because if you hold possession on the defensive side of your pitch, then you are not really moving the ball. But if you're holding on to possession and moving the ball from defense to offense and getting off shots, that's what I will be looking for tonight, Freddie, to see how much this
How much opportunities you get to create.
Not only getting opportunity, but developing. Player development will be a key that I will be looking at for tonight.
Yes, and that's the first fall coming up, and it will be for the international side tonight, and that will be number 9 for the international side.
And when we talk about John King, we must remember that spectacular goal that he scored in the CONCACAF Champions League for the Police United when they played their home game at the FFB Stadium. John King scored a beautiful left foot shot from well out of the 18-yard box. So he have international goals under his belt.
Yes. As we see Paco Thomas tonight playing with not with that 25, but number 11. And tonight we see in the national team moving it from one side to the other. Those days of training together must prove something tonight. They have got to connect much more as the game develops, as the game goes into depth of minutes. These national players will have to prove that playing together these days have done something to them. As we see Elroy Smith going to the center, going over to Dalton Ely. We see Belize playing with a line of 3 defenders tonight. Victor Mejia being in the center, Ian Gainier on the right, and Dalton Ely on the left. Victor Mejia in control now as they are showing what they have, moving the ball from one side to the other, yes, but now they want to begin to connect. That's what we need to see. Luis Torres trying to pass this one above, connecting with Danny Jimenez. So up to this point, yes, they are passing to each other, they are connecting to each other, but we are still waiting for the international players to begin to pressure. We'll see what happens whenever they are under pressure.
Well, we saw just a while ago from young Christian Lopez playing with the international squad, putting some pressure on the captain, Elroy Smith. And so that was very good to see. And now here comes young Norman Anderson defending well against Elroy Quillen. And so tonight's matchup is going to be a very interesting one. It's going to be played at a very high level. And we are anticipating some exciting things to happen tonight.
Yes. As Paco Thomas will exit. Something happened.
Undergarment.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Of course. It has got to be the same color as the others. What a shot right there. Coming up from number 11.
Luis
Torres, yes.
With a beautiful right foot shot well out of the 18-yard box as goalkeeper Sagastume pushed that one over the goal line, and it will be the first corner kick in the ball game for the Belize Jaguars.
Yes, and it will be Luis Torres himself, the goleador in the PLB, to center this one in, but it will go straight out as number 12 for the international players. That it is Teixeira. Will try to clear out Moura. Brazilian connection right here. Touching from it goes from Teixeira to Moura. Moura will now go over to the Colombian. Number 23, Anderson Cordova, who now will change it over to Gabriel Chavez, the Colombian. It goes to the Ghanan. Ghanan go right back to the Colombian Chavez. Norman Anderson tonight playing out of Ghana. As we see, not international players begin to do their game.
Yes, they're putting touches together. They're moving this ball. They're not on the offensive side of the pitch. Defense for Belize. Let's see how they will try to disrupt this attack by the international players.
As we see, Victor Mejia was way out, and he has managed to come back to his location. And a very important thing, see how Dalton Lilly moved in his location of Victor Mejia while he was out. So these changes are very important. Whenever colleagues are out, you must cover the spaces.
I like the switch of field just a while ago by Roberto Silva when he came to the right side of the pitch and found young Norman Anderson Jr.
Okay, and as we see, number 13, Dalton going out to his captain, Elroy Smith. And Dermot Casey already getting in control. Being pressured right there by number 9, John King. Elroy Smith again in the center goes over to number 11, Luis Torres, who quickly finds number 20 across. Danny Jimenez will now center, trying to look for somebody. But Selvin Sagastume will just look at that one.
Yeah, and I think that those are mistakes that could be well corrected, as Danny should have swung that ball into the box and looked for players that was, inside the 18-yard box. And so it's good to, that the coaching staff would come to us and get the footage of this game, and so they can correct whatever little mistake is needed to be corrected.
Yes, very important, and they will no doubt get assistance, and these videos will help as they go along. Connections between there, Ely, Torres, and then Marchese. But now we have Teixeira, number 12 going around with the help of Christian Lopez, number 21 coming around. With the pressure of Christian, Luis Torres managed to go over to his colleague. Number 12, Demarcase, as Gainier on the other side will quickly find Danny Jimenez. Danny Jimenez wanted to go out forward, but he looked around better. Let's try it one more time.
I would say Ian Guinea have well more than 15 years of national team play.
Yes.
And so, Ian game is, national play game is dwindling, and that's just reality. He's with the national team, and he have been a very, very sturdy defender for the years that he have played with this national team.
And of course, another player that remember that I've played side by side with Gainier has been Gil Harry as well, another very solid defender. So I don't know if tonight he's there in the bench, but again, these players such as Gainier having many, many years playing for the national team, and they keep growing. And see, the important thing is that these players are very humble, Even though they have many years in the national team, they tell you that they want to continue learning.
And Ian Guinea was the only player that scored for Belize in the Gold Cup.
Yes.
That year against the United States of America. That's his first goal, and at that juncture it was a 2-1 ball game. The USA ended up winning that game by 5 goals.
Yes. What a play right here inside the 18-yard box. Big decision that number 5, Quilin took there. He could have controlled, put that one in a better way. He had the space, the time, and everything, Ray.
And, the reality about football is decision making.
Yes.
It's very important for you to have that quick decision making when you're on the pitch.
Yeah, of course, and opportunities that will never come back again. Another foul coming up by the Jaguars. That will be number 2 in their counting. Christian Lopez taking a shot. What a shot now by Christian Lopez. having Shane flying for that one.
But the quick start by the international players was what created that wide open look for Christian Lopez, and this is what the national team cannot do in international play.
Yes.
They cannot afford to do that. It is either you're going to have somebody stand in front of that ball until the referee tell you to move away from the ball. You cannot give the clubs in the tournament that you will be going up against those quick start, because the end result will be what we saw from young Christian Lopez and could be worse.
It could be worse, yeah, of course. So tonight, these are things that, of course, the Jaguars will have to look at. And again, we see it a lot in the PLB, where players comes in front of the ball, you know, and the referee, every time you see the referee touching his whistle, meaning it's until I whistle, and that's the way we have to learn in the Jaguars. So corrections that whoever take over, the head coaching will have to tell the players, choose one at all time, make sure that player goes until the referee tell him, you know what, you need to go to the wall or do something, but it will be until the whistle.
The only team that I see using the quick start to their advantage is the San Pedro Pirates. Yes. You cannot sleep with this San Pedro Pirates team when it comes to a free kick or something of that nature, a dead ball, because they started real quick.
And that's an advantage.
It is an advantage.
Whenever a team gets to practice it good, that's a very dangerous play. So we'll see what transpires here, and things that they will have to fix in this match and in the others. Actually, we have the next one on Tuesday, right? And then Thursday next week. So things, 3 games. But at least the first 2 are with the international players of the PLB, national players next Tuesday. By the time we get to Grenada, things such as this one shouldn't be happening.
And folks, tonight we will be very critical of our national team. We want you to understand that our commentating might seem biased against our national team, but it's not. But we'll be talking about things that we need or we feel that should be done differently out there on the pitch.
Yes, because those can cost us, at the end of the day, goals, such as the one that Christian Lopez had a while ago. You know, opportunities such as that with other international games can just put us down in the score.
What I want to see is ball movement. I want to see that one touch, Freddie. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see a player holding to the ball too long and just moving around in circles and then not advancing the ball. That's what I'm seeing from young Denmarkese early in this football game.
Yes, it's per normal. He's right there in the middle, trying to control every play that goes around, as the international players will create their first fall in this first half. And quickly, there we go. Mejia, Luis Torres, touching around. Quilly now insert himself. High King will go around. Quickly finds Danny Jimenez. So see, they open themselves. They're trying to make the space to find their teammate, and that's very important. As you see, Lambi over on the other side as well wanted to, you know, push himself in there.
Look at young Christian Lopez coming all the way back on the defensive side of the pitch, challenge Danny Jimenez, and in so getting a foul for the international team.
And that will be number 3 for the Jaguars. And this will be another thing as well, Ray, that we'll see how many fouls these players get to commit tonight. You know, and fouls in many ways doesn't mean that a team cannot play. You know, it's just depending on what type of tackling you're doing. So again, we can measure that as well from the Jaguars tonight. As Cordova and Chavez connecting each other, 2 Colombians. And the second Colombian, well, he cannot do it well, and that will be the second foul in this match.
And you know who will be lining up against this ball as
you got it right.
I've seen this guy so many times in the PLB season here, Elroy Smith.
And tonight he for sure would be the only one, because if the other one would be in, he would be playing on the other side, Darwin Bermudez, right?
Right, but he have alongside Luis Torres also, who is very dangerous when it comes to ball right on top of the 18-yard box. So that 1-2 punch that I was talking about in our pregame show earlier tonight is on the pitch, and we'll be seeing some exciting thing as Elroy Smith and Elroy Bib Quillen is there for the Jaguars.
Yes, it will be Elroy Smith taking a hard shot, but bonks it right on Paco Thomas immediately. Teixeira controls it and quickly finds there's number 9, John King, as he goes over to trying to find Christian Lopez, but Christian could not read that one well.
Yes, Victor Mejia was right there to intercept that pass from John King, as the ball would go all the way back to goalkeeper Shane Moody Urio, who also brings a wealth of international experience to our national team.
Yes, as number 18, Victor Mejia will now control this one. Puts it around to Gainier. Gainier quickly, with his experience, find Denmark Casey. Denmark will have a little bit of pressure between Paco Thomas and others, but he managed to overcome both, and at least Paco Thomas, who's above him. A tall player compared to a smaller player, which is Denmark Casey. But again, he's showing his maneuvering of the ball.
He have very good ball protection.
Oh, yeah. And he just proved it a while ago. Dalton Ely in control, goes over to Elroy Smith. Elroy Smith finds now Denmark Casey as the Jaguars touching 1-2, 1-2, and that's good. I like it. Up to this point, I like it.
We need to see movement. We need to see movement, find the open space, and wait and receive the ball.
Well, we saw something there against John King. As Denmark Casey and Paco Tama looks like will be the matchup tonight. Paco Tama's pressuring number 12 there, and we have number 9, John King, down. I mean, something happened there in the last play between him and High King.
Like he took an elbow in the face.
Yeah, so from king to king.
Take a look at that once again. Yes, clearly the arms of High King Roberts coming right over the nose of John King.
Yes, as we know, see the game resuming, and Victor will have with Denmark Casey. Casey immediately finds Guinier. Guinier will trouble this one up the right flank, finds Lambe, Jaren Lambe. Number 23 will put this one in. Yes, he does it, but somewhat low. Saron Sagastume, or Selvin Saron Sagastume, has no problem with this one.
That's because of the aggressive defense by Melson Mora. Didn't give Jaren Lambe too much room to work with.
As we see now, they will put this one way back. Sheehan Oriamuri has no problem in controlling this one.
I was going over the results from last week's game, and I saw where the Belmopan Bandits had San Pedro Pirates by a 4-0 goal with about 8 minutes remaining in the ball game, and San Pedro within 6 minutes managed to score 3 goals and made it an interesting run against the Belmopan Bandits. And I was here comes Elroy Smith with that right foot shot, but that ball will go to the left of goalkeeper, to the right of goalkeeper Sagastume. And they were telling me that what happened is that the team started to play layback, and the San Pedro team didn't let up. They brought it, because they were in front of their home fans, and they made it an interesting game right down to the bitter end.
Yeah, and the thing is this, that it is admirable to see something like that, of a team to never let go and just come up and score 3 goals. But oftentimes you ask yourself, what happened if they would have done that many minutes before that? Not waiting until the last 6 minutes, but the pressure from the very get-go. So things that occur in football, and it's good for San Pedro that they managed to score 3 goals. That will help them obviously in the aggregate, even though they lost these 3 points. It's just like a really same beginning as they did in the first round, right? They lost the first 2 games. They lost to Police 6-1, and then they lost to Bandits here. So again, the same thing is happening for them. Let's see if they will now do the same thing and win the next 4 games.
Well, they're slipping out of the standings a little bit, because what happened is the Police United move into 2nd place, while Verde slipped down to the 3rd spot, and Placencia now sitting in that 4th position. So getting pretty, the San Pedro Pirates slipped into the 4th position, where it's getting very interesting, because BDF went and they won their game on Sunday, and that make it even more interesting now as we move into week 10.
And Ray, touching results again last weekend, it's worrying, it's troubling, the way that Verdes is playing. Since San Pedro went there to the Norman Brasser and winning them there, they have not picked up, and again another team went to their home and beat them there as well.
In their last 4 games, Verdes won 1 and lost 3 in their last 4 games.
I mean, it's just out of 12 points, getting only 3, that's frightening,
So the Belmopan will be going into week 10 with a 15-point lead in points accumulated for the CONCACAF Champions League.
The thing is that something just like that happened last season, in the way that Well, the first offside coming up for the national team. And the same thing happened last opening season, where the Bandits just flew away from Verdes. But you know what happened? Verdes came back right there, trailed on the second place, went into playoffs, made it to the championship series, and then came up with the victory and became a champion. I believe that's exactly what Verdes, at this point in time now, will have to bet for. They cannot in any way meet in points with Bandits anymore. The stretch is too long.
And we are not saying that Verdes does not have a team that can pull off consecutive championship. But, you know, and when we talk the truth here in our commentating, we get bashed for that. But the reality is that the Belmopan Bandits, they're playing
constant.
They're playing very good football. They haven't lost a game in the closing season. Yes, they draw some, but they won most of their game.
Yeah.
And so that identified to me that they're a team that is well focused and they want to go back to the CONCACAF Champions League.
Yes. So if Verdes is in any way want to change that prospect, they will have to begin to win in at home and out on the road against other teams. So from right now, from this coming week, from week 10, they will have to go the next 5 games straight right through. The next 5 games have to be victories for Verdes. And if you're saying it's already 15 points, the stretch, remember there was only 15 more points on the play as well. So the only thing they can do right now is to draw against the Bandits. So our theories, our discussion, it's fully justified. Okay, it's not that we want to be biased on one and pressure the other one. No, we're just looking at what's happening, and the stats help us behind that.
Clearly, the Belmopan Bandits will close off the closing season with the most points.
Yes.
Points accumulated between the opening and the closing season, they will be leading in that. The only next thing for them to do now is to go out and win the closing season championship, and they will be going to the CONCACAF Champions League. Like we say,
yes.
Verdes have a team that can spoil the dream of the Belmopan Bandits, but they're not showing us that, Freddie.
Yeah.
In 4 games, winning 1 game, and you would say, and we are not downgrading any team in the PLB.
None.
But, you know, the games that they lost are against teams that you say they should have won those games.
Yes.
We thought that they should have won against San Pedro. San Pedro went and they did what they had to do.
Yep.
We thought that they were supposed to win against Police United. Police did what they had to do. We thought they were supposed to win against Freedom Fighters last week. They didn't do that. So they're showing us that that either they have some serious problem within their camp, or the player, they are not stepping up when game day come around.
Because out of those 3 losses, Ray, let's look at it real deep. 2 of them were at home. So very important fact.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
2 at home. At least if it had been 2 on the road and 1 at home, but it's 2 at home and 1 on the road. So things like this is just that can occur within an institution. And today, Verdes is in that situation, and let's see if they can pick up and move on from the situation they may have inside the camp. I for sure know that not having their coach in the box, it's somewhere affecting them. But again, they will have to manage to fix up their problems, internal problems, and hey, move on.
But
because the season is coming to an end.
I think that shows the making of a very great team. When you have members of the team, either meaning members talking about players or coaching staff is being suspended, and the team raised their game to another level. Now, when you look at the Belmopan Bandits, when assistant coach Dale Pelayo was managing this team for about 3 games, the team still won their games. And so it shows you that the players, they are comfortable playing with whoever is in that coaching box. If that is the case with Verdes, we are not seeing that. Then on the flip side, I'm happy for Freedom Fighters.
Yes.
Coming on the road, because they are a team along with Wagia that is targeted in the PLB. And you know, the word is out there that they don't think that those 2 teams should be in the PLB. And so when Freedom Fighters come out, I would want to see Wagia doing the same thing, stepping up their game and beating some of these
big teams.
Well, so-called big teams, I would put it like that.
Teams,
because,
that's a big but top teams.
You know, because they're all members of the PLB.
Yes.
You know, I am happy on that side for Freedom Fighters, because it shows that these kids, they play with their heart.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they don't have the luxuries of what other players would have in the PLB, and yet they come out with all their heart and soul, you know, and play out all their energy. So things that we need to admire, you know, teams like freedom fighters and Wagia. They see if Wagia will pick up. You know, they have been losing a lot. And things like that can occur again. And like what you said, Ray, I mean, we are not bashing anyone. We're not putting down anyone. We just want to make sure we do our analysis based on stats and based on information that we can see. And let's hope that whoever is listening, you know, could just take the best part of our commentary and use it in your teams, because all we want is to see teams out there doing their best to make sure whenever they get to play on the PLB league, you know, do it to the best of your ability. You know, make sure you come out, and the same way, like what you were saying, San Pedro in the last 6 minutes, good, score 6 goals. This can show them that, hey, we are a strong team. We didn't let go. You know, we didn't just give up, but we did it to the last minute.
I must say that I am happy that Jonard Castillo, that young, energetic player from Wagia, he is leading Wagia right now in goal scoring, has been given the opportunity to try out for this A national team, and I'm so happy for Jonard Castillo.
That is good, and the exposure will be there as the international players team as well are also doing a 3-man lineup in the defense. Cordova, Mora, and Chavez. As you see, number 11, Luis Torres, having a little bit of problem, but he managed to control. He went over to Danny Jimenez. Danny Jimenez going one way, going the other one, trying to find High King, trying to connect with him, but Mora will not allow it, and instead High King will do a fall against Mora, and that will be number 5 for the national team.
And so far, unofficially, 27 minutes elapsing here in the first half, and we are still deadlocked at 0. None of the team have shown me so far controlling the ball.
Yes.
And creating opportunities for themselves. Hopefully, Coach Palmiro Salas will be going back to the drawing board after this game, and then we will see a much more better game. We have a half left, and about 18 minutes here in the first half, and we want to see that change. So let's say when you go into the locker room, you'll see a different Jaguars coming out on the pitch.
Let me give you a little tip, Ray. I'm not hearing Palmiro Salas as vocal and as, you know, resounding as he is normally with the San Pedro Pirates. So we have to send a little message to him and say, you know what, we want to hear you up here. As he's just observing.
Yeah.
Of course, he might be taking notes in his mind, you know, to make sure he mentioned those things to his players going back in the locker room. As you see, Quillian, yes, that offside will be called. And that will be the offside on the international players team. First one.
Alcides Paco Thomas. That was in the offside position.
The international players want to score on our Jaguars. As we see, Teixeira and Paco Thomas, 2 Brazilians. Okay, eager to go into the 18-yard box and score the first one. By now, I would think that the national team would have scored at least 1 goal. But they have been conservative. They want to make sure they protect the ball real good.
Not scoring, Freddie, but creating opportunities.
Yes.
I thought that already goalkeeper Sagastume would have had 6 or 7 shots on target.
Yes, and at least 5 saves. Making sure that he's pushed to that limit to fly, to go stretch out himself to take out those approaches, you know. But again, we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next minutes, in the remaining minutes of this first half, and also the second 45 of second half.
Mora taking on 3 defenders.
Yes, Elroy Smith in control. Danny Jimenez now takes this one.
That's brilliant passing between Danny Jimenez and I love the development of play.
Yes, and look at that. Norman Anderson going hard on that play, not afraid. End up crushing right there against Lanbe.
Yes.
So that shows what type of defender we have in Norman Anderson.
Head going against head right there, folks.
Yes. There goes the play again. Norman Anderson going hard and just bouncing that one right there against Lambe. But this is the type of player I want to see Norman Anderson at all times. You know, not being afraid to go to the play. Yes, things like this can happen, and I think that's somewhat the fear that a player may have, you know, that, hey, I don't want to get injured. But again, Norman Anderson showing his defensive side.
got to remember, these Africans are tough.
Oh, yeah, for sure, especially from Ghana.
You know, Norman is going to tell me about this when he sees me because I know his dad and his mom is watching at home. But we're just having a little bit of fun, you know. I'm so excited for young Norman Anderson Jr. And, you know, I am hoping and praying that this kid makes this national team.
Yes.
You know, because we already see the play of young Norman Anderson Jr. with the Belmopan Bandits. We see his defensive smarts. This kid have a bright future in front of him, and let it start from now. Let it start from now. He got the opportunity to go to the CONCACAF Champions League with the Bandits, but I want to see him out there with our A national team.
He has been given that trust by the Bandits, Ray. If he's coming out of the bench, more than likely, many a times you see Norman Anderson being one of the first players to enter the ball game. You know, so again, the coach King Gabriel, you know, he has that trust on number 2 for tonight, that Ghanaian player, Norman Anderson. So we'll see as age comes on him, you know, the experience and the exposure that he will have internationally, that for sure.
And that's the key
in that
right
tournament.
There. Exposure.
Yes. I want to hear when he comes back that a team from Costa Rica or Honduras wants him out there. So let's see. As he enters, I'm happy to see him back again. And that's a Belizean a Belizean saying, you know, that's my Belizean side saying that I'm happy to see him back because he really went hard on that clash right there against Lambe. Of course, nothing intentional from both players. And number 11, Luis Torres, looking around. He will go back to his player. Dalton Lilly is behind, waiting for that one. He will go over to Victor Mejia. Victor Mejia has no problem to go across. And this is what we want. If it's not happening on one side, go around and change to the other side. Go from left to right. There is no crime in that one to move from one side to the other. Normally what happens if you are in the right-hand side and you go to left, the left more likely will be open.
Use the open space at all time.
Yes, as Luis Torres is going one way. Today he's not in that goleador mood, but more helping out Denmark Casey in the center, you know. Elroy Smith. And now Victor Mejia. Victor Mejia goes right back to his captain, Elroy Smith. He's already looking around, trying to see if he could connect with Quillen, but it will be John King. Yeah, John King knows that he went a little bit too late on that one, as he will create number 4 for the international players.
What I would have liked to see off that pass from Elroy Smith looking for Elroy Quillen was a high ball because of the height of Elroy Quillen compared to the smaller player, John King, that was on him. But instead he came at field level, and that's the reason why the ball was intercepted.
And you know, I believe, Ray, that that's what the intention was of Elroy Smith, to rise that ball up there. But something happened that he didn't go that low on the ball and created that ball to go somewhat lower rather than higher than what he wanted. So we'll see. Elroy Smith, you know, whenever he looks around at someone, he tries to make sure he places the ball right there for him to create the best opportunity for his teammate. That Marchese and Hiking, but we have there number 10.
Silva.
Is that Roberto Silva?
Roberto Silva.
He looks so different tonight. Whoa. I for a minute thought it was Carlos Pertus, but again, this player is changing look on you at all times, as we see number 22.
Pertus is a much bigger player.
Yes. Roberto Silva, that MVP of the finals. As we Sagastume, goalkeeper Sagastume put that one down and quickly found number 2, Norman Anderson. He's calling in to number 5. I know the Colombian.
No, I think number 5 is Pertus.
That would be, yeah. He looks, again, look at Pertus and look at this number 5 and look at number 10. The only thing that changes is the height. And another foul coming up by the national team. That would be number 6. Half a dozen fouls in this first half. As we see Norman Anderson now looking around. He needs to raise his head and look back, yes. As you see John King. John King will have to go back. Been pressured too much there. Chavez gets control. Colombian Chavez will not connect with number 5 again. To that other Colombian number 23, Anderson Cordoba, who goes to the Brazilian Mora. Mora finds that number 10 up there on the left flank, which is Roberto Silva. Silva getting a bit pressure right there by Luis Torres, and now the national team recovers it. And that's very important. They are recovering the ball real quick, and that's one of the aspects that we're looking after. Recovering the ball and create opportunities from thereafter. Victor, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say then Marchese was defended well there by Alcides Paco Thomas, that he had to go back to Victor Mejia.
And Paco Thomas is playing on that offensive mid, you know. I like that position where he's playing right now. I believe Verdes should have taken advantage of this one right here as well and look at some of their players tonight here. You know, as we see Demarcasi going around, Quilin. As per normal, he's chasing this one, and he will do the center, bouncing it right off Norman Anderson, and it went straight into the hands of goalkeeper Sagastume.
Unofficially, 37 minutes elapsing here in the first half of this ball game as we are bringing to you live this friendly between our A national team, the Belize Jaguars, and the international players from the PLB if you've just joined us.
As we see, number 11, Luis Torres, Denmark Casey, Smith already looking to take another shot.
But it was Aloysius Teixeira.
Yes.
Getting in front of Elroy Smith. Our Jaguars playing in their white top with blue trim and blue bottom, while the international players playing in their red top with red bottom and white trim.
As we see Gainier on the right flank. Solid as per usual. Goes over to Victor Mejia. National team playing it very conservative. If they don't have to pressure the ball or put the ball up there, they go right back to the defensive line and trying to find somebody down there. As Luis Torres will now take this one on the left flank, connecting with Jaren Lambe. Jaren Lambe will now find Quilin. Quilin will let go this one and will negotiate now the corner kick for the national team. The Jaguars here up to this point, still awaiting to score the first one as Jaren Lambe, number 23, will play this one, bouncing it off on this number 5. We're still waiting. Looks like Carlos Pertus indeed, and is now up there. Elroy Smith trying to take a shot out of that one. Bouncing it somewhat. High King will now find Danny Jimenez. Danny Jimenez will kick this one, but number 23, Gabriel Chavez, will put this one on the corner, and that will be the second corner kick for our national team, the Jaguars. And it will be Danny Jimenez himself to put this one back into the 18-yard box. We have Lambe, Quilin, High King, Roberts, Gainier joined there, but nothing happened. Everything will be bounced off, and it will be Cordova putting up to Christian Lopez. Christian Lopez will put this one, carry this one up on the left flank. As we see now, he lost to this one. I believe that he could have passed that one quickly to number 10 that was nearby, but pushing himself between 3 defenders is a very tough job to manage here. It's against the national team as Luis Torres now push this one way on top, but John King will head this one out, and another corner kick coming up for the Jaguars. That will be number 3 in the count of the national team. As we see now, Luis Torres running across to get to that corner, and he will be the one in charge of this one. Sagastume, the goalkeeper, directing his defenders and everybody inside the 18-yard box. As we see almost the entire international team in there. The only player on top is Christian Lopez, and also John King already outside. This one will cross way too far out of the 18-yard box, and Cordova, a well-experienced player, will only see this one exiting the ball game so they can garner a new goal kick. As we see, number 22, Honduran goalkeeper Selvin Sagastume will be placing this one to do the exit. As Teixeira already up there with Christian Lopez in the forward. Mora and Selvin Sagastume. Sagastume looking around to see who he can connect with. Obviously, he doesn't want to release this one and lose it too easy. John King waited too much on that one, and with the height, Quilin one over, and now he pressed, and he pushed Chavez to give a throw in. We're seeing the national team going one way and the other way, but yet they still have to create those opportunities. They're still not connecting to the from 3/4 up, and that's where I like teams. I always make sure I do commentaries on 3/4 up, because that's very important. That's where the pressure begins. That's where most of teams will be starting to defend you. And that's where you have to see how you can manage to move the ball from one area to the other, from one zone to the other, making sure that you are felt when you are at 3/4 and above.
Right, and that's when you start to see player pushing up into open spaces, and you know the ball could come right back from out of the 18-yard box on top of the box where we know we have deadly shooters from that range, and so they will have to know how to create those situations for them and then utilize on it. We are not seeing that here in the first half, as unofficially 41 minutes have elapsed in the first half, and the international guys, they are holding our national team to a 0-0 tie.
Yes, and we're seeing the national team, recovering the ball real quick. They have had a lot of possession in this first half. But here we go with Paco Thomas. Paco Thomas carrying it between 3 players. He wanted to make it personal, but now the well-experienced goalkeeper, the international goalkeeper, Shane Oreo, came out, caught the angle, and collected that one.
Excellent play there by the veteran goalkeeper, Shane Moody Oreo. But here comes the attack once again by our international players. Aloysius Teixeira in the box. And
no goal. That was a flag raised right there. It's an offside, and yeah, even though the player right there is not too happy, and I believe that's number 5 is Pertus indeed.
But what a development of play. Aloysius Teixeira, Pertus was just a step in front of the defender for the Belmopan Bandits.
Yes, and these are the type of play we would like to see, and this is now a bit troubling and a bit things that the head coach tonight for the national team, the Jaguars, will have to look at in the. I don't think so.
It seems that he was right.
Onside. There goes.
The ball was touched, he was right there in line with the defender. That's what I'm seeing.
I agree with you. I agree with you that guy looks like he was onside. But again, first assistant for tonight had our opinion.
Juan Colindres.
Juan Colindres. So, as we see on the other side now, Chavez a bit pressured there by Lambe. Took that one out. High King collecting it. Putting it over to Quillen. Quillen quickly looks around. Center is right back. And it will be Danny Jimenez on the other side, sending it up for Elroy Quillen. Bam! What a shot right there on the crossbar.
Now, that's what I'm talking about as the Jaguars continue to keep pressure on the defense of this international. But, Freddie, that's what I was talking about. Daniel Jimenez receiving that pass from Elroy Bib Quillen, settled himself down, found Elroy Smith with that cannon. And if you check the crossbar right now, it's bent.
I would think that there's no paint there.
It's bent.
It's bent.
It's bent.
All right, it's bent and unpainted. So that is a harsh shot. We could hear that song up to this, where we are broadcasting from. Elroy Smith has a tough shot, man. I mean, whenever the ball is going in the direction of the goalkeeper, man, I wouldn't want to be there.
Excellent development of play by our Belize Jaguars just a while ago. Fortunately for the international guys, the 12th defender came up big for them, and that was the crossbar, saving that goal for the international guys with unofficially 44 minutes elapsing here in the first half. And a little bit of excitement, one goal taken away from the international guys, one coming off the crossbar for our national team.
Yes, and I'll be honest with you, I have a personal theory right there. Whenever the post, any one of them, the crossbar, left or right, is playing with the opponent, I don't like that. That's a bad signal, you know. And the last time that happened to Birds in here when they were playing against Police, and I was saying it as well, you know. Let's see what happened in the second half, as this one already going in the final minutes. As Chavez, the Colombian, playing around, will go and find this number 7, which for sure I could say that's Pertus. He will now find Cordova, the other Colombian.
And I would have loved to see Darwin Bermudez, Ronnie Sanchez in this ball game.
Oh, yes. Georgia, welcome.
Georgia, welcome. I honestly believe that the international guys, they would have scored already against our Jaguars.
Yes.
Because, you know, the job that these guys that is on the pitch, not to take anything away from them that they're doing against our Jaguars, man, it's exciting. And you know, I am really enjoying this game.
I am too. So, John King right there, finding Chavez. Chavez quickly will push this one way across.
1 minute of added time. 1 minute.
Let's see if the Jaguars will take advantage of this last 60 seconds of the first half. Gainier having a little problem down there for sure. He had to give out, bounce it off a player there and managed to negotiate the throw-in. As this is almost at the end of first half.
Earlier it looked like we would have had a rainstorm pouring down here at the capital city. But I'm telling you, it turned out to be a beautiful night for football.
Well, when I left Belice City earlier, Ray, I must tell you, it was raining cats and dogs. And my teacher would say baby elephants too. All right, so if my teacher out there, Mr. Gladden, is watching this game, Mr. Gladden, I'm referring to you, sir. He would always say that for Garifuna Settlement Day festivity, there is always a heavy rain in Belice City, and that's what happened. And indeed, it had happened for many years, you know. So
cats, dog, and baby elephant.
Baby elephants, indeed. Yep. As here we go, the long whistle, the end of the first half.
So the first half has come to an end, and it's scoreless. The international team holding our Jaguars at bay in the first half. Let's see what adjustment will be made by Coach Palmiro Salas on the side of our Jaguars, and on the other side, Mr. Jones, who is coaching the international players. What we'll do, we'll go to a break. When we come back, we'll have highlights for you of the first half and the stats of the first half. We'll be right back.
Share the love with Smart's SMS sharing. To share from your bundle, all you have to do is send a message to 767 and in the body, put the number of the person followed by a space and the number of SMS you wish to share. It's that easy. Share the love with Smart's SMS sharing, because Smart the love.
West Track and Orange Walk is determined to meet the needs of everyone in Sugar City. We have added a full line of heavy-duty parts to keep all your trucks and equipment in the fields or on the road. We've also improved our stock to ensure we have exactly what you're looking for. Additionally, we want to keep your convenience and time as our top priority. That's why you can now contact us through messaging on WhatsApp or Facebook. We are here waiting to serve you on all of your automotive, agricultural, and industrial needs.
Follow the National Channel Facebook fan page and be first to get all your sports updates. Watch your favorite team play live from the comforts of your home. You can also stream all our live events with our watch video button, all in high definition. For more information, you can also message us right here on our fan page. The National Channel, your entertainment and information station. The future of broadcasting in Belize.
Acción Deportiva, todos los martes de 8 a 9 p.m. por TNC 10, tu portada deportiva.
Being away from family doesn't mean being away from home. And the greatest gift we could think of was keeping you connected to the ones you love.
Daddy?
Hey, baby.
Hi, Daddy. Make sure you send us a lot of videos.
Tons of videos, tons of pictures. I'll see you soon, okay?
Love you. Bye.
Yeah, love you. Look at the horses. Look at the horses. Really wish you were here. Can't wait to be home.
Being away from family doesn't mean being away from home. And the greatest gift we could think of was keeping you connected to the ones you love.
Daddy? Hey, baby.
Hey, Daddy. Make sure you send us a lot of videos.
Tons of videos, tons of pictures. I'll see you soon, okay?
Love you. Bye.
Yeah, love you. The horses. Look at the horses. Really wish you were here. Can't wait to be home.
We welcome you back to our halftime show. It's a 0-0 ball game, and so that sets up to be a very interesting second half. Let's take a look at the stats for the first half of this ball game. As we see, no goals for both sides. Shots, 7 shots for the Jaguars, 4 for all the international players. Shots on target, 4 for the Jaguars.
First half commentary is the passes, the complete passes. The international players have a bit more of the Jaguars. So second half, we'll have to bring out about the Jaguars doing a bit somewhat of changes. You know, I believe some of the players that we see warming up right now, you could see at least Tremaine Harris and Jarrett Davis in that list, you know, among other players. So I believe these players will have some minutes in the second half. But things like this, complete passes and everything, the national team will have to come and make more than the international players.
Well, an observation from a texter coming into us in our broadcast booth here, and this texter is saying that the national team struggling with their possession. They consistently have 4 guys at the top, so that leaves them with 2 midfielders, and then trying to build up through them. 2 cannot go up against 4.
Okay, yep, I like that. And we'll see if that continues to happen in the second half. To the person that sent you that message, thank you for your input. We'll keep looking at this in the second half and seeing if the team, the local team, national team, will be doing some changes.
So as we go along, we are filling in numbers here on our lineup form, but nonetheless, it's set up to be an exciting second half of football here from the Isidro Beaton Stadium as we are coming to you live from the capital city in Belmopan. What we'll do, we'll go to a break. When we come back, we will have second half action for you. We'll be back.
Being away from family doesn't mean being away from home. And the greatest gift we could think of was keeping you connected to the ones you love.
Daddy?
Hey, baby.
Hey, Daddy. Make sure you send us a lot of videos.
Tons of videos, tons of pictures. I'll see you soon, okay?
Love you. Bye.
Yeah, love you. horses. Look at the horses. Really wish you were here. Can't wait to be home.
Follow the National Channel Facebook fan page and be first to get all your sports updates. Watch your favorite team play live from the comforts of your home. You can also stream all our live events with our watch video button, all in high definition. For more information, you can also message us right here on our fan page. The National Channel, your entertainment and information station. The future of broadcasting in Belize.
We know that in today's busy business environment, you need banking to be fast, flexible, and convenient. With Belize Bank's free online banking, you can process employee payroll, make Social Security contributions, make GST payments, process customs duty payments, view account information, pay bills, and more. Sign up for Belize Bank online today and spend more time focusing on what matters most, the success of your business. Belize Bank Online. Easy, convenient, secure.
As a family, you share family time, playtime, celebration time, anytime. Smart Family Share Plan handles the text, call, and data part. You get a plan for 5 people. Unlimited calls within the group. 1,480 national minutes, 10 gigabytes to share, while each member gets 200 SMS. And the plan admin gets unlimited calls and texts to any smart number. Now you'd think that's a big bill every month. Well, this is the best part. This plan values at $980, but you get it for only $150. So for $150 a month, you get to share data, text, and calls at an unbelievable low monthly price. The family that shares together stays together. Smart, bringing people together.
As we are getting ready to bring you second half action, it's a friendly matchup between our A team, the Belize Jaguars, going up against the international players from the PLB. And tonight coverage is being brought to you by Belize Bank, our country, your bank, smart, bringing people together, Central TV and Internet, and Westrack. Customer satisfaction is our goal.
As we see the two assistants and the referee in the center, getting ready for this one to begin the second half. We're hoping for at least a few goals to be scored in the second half, right?
That's number 19 that we are looking at is Jonar No, that's not Jonar Castillo.
As we're seeing the
Darwin Bermudez and Ronin Sanchez of the Belmopan Bandits sitting in the stand, enjoying tonight's game. And remember, on the 22nd, but before the 22nd, I must mention next week, Tuesday, our Jaguars will be playing against a selection from the PLB, and so that is one that you don't want to miss. And on the 22nd will be that international friendly against Grenada.
Yes, as a national team, let's see. Any changes up to this point? There are no changes for the second half. They will start with the same 11. We shall see if Palmiro Salas will do as the time progresses in the second half. We see if he will do changes. I believe she should. You know.
Well, Jarrett Davis will be going into the ball game, so that will be the first change for the Jaguars.
Okay. And I believe in the friendly matches, you can make up to 5 changes, right?
I think it's up to 7 changes that you can make in a friendly match.
All right, so it will be Lambe, Jaren Lambe, who will be exiting the ball game.
Yes, Jaren Lambe, number 23, is out. Entering into the ball game is number 10, Jarrett Davis. Jarrett plays for Verdes FC, the champion of the opening season here in the PLB.
Yep, so first change already, number 10 in. And out, that would be number 23, Jaren Lambe. On the other side, we see Mora, Chavez, Norman Anderson still there. Henry Gonzaga, number 10. Pertus, number 5. Cordova still there. Paco Thomas. Teixeira. Yeah, same 11. That's number 21, Christian Lopez as well. So one change up to this point, and that is number 10, Jarrett Davis, second half. Second half has started, and it's in control. Demarcasi with the national team. The Jaguars are in possession in this few seconds of the second half. We'll see what happens as time transpires, and the Jaguars will have to start to make more opportunities, new opportunities, and start to score some goals, Ray.
It will be interesting to see what was discussed in the locker room of the Jaguars by Coach Palmiro Salas.
And it's Paco Thomas in control here, but Gainier, oh, that's a tough one to go through. Gainier is a well-experienced player. He goes over to Danny Jimenez. Danny Jimenez will bring this back to Victor Mejia. Victor Mejia goes over to Casey. Casey looking around. He will now connect with Ely. Ely is stretching his hands as, what are you doing? Where are you? Talking to his players, to his midfield and forward up there. He will connect with Casey. Casey right back to Ely. Ely wants someone opening themselves, but the shortest pass would be the best one, which is to Elroy Quillen. Quillen will now connect immediately with number 11, Torres. Torres lost the one, and it's now the international players, Christian Lopez and Cordova, connecting with each other, but it would be Danny Jimenez who will frustrate that play right there.
Yes, Christian Lopez stealing that ball for the international players, but we'll have a throw-in for the Jaguars.
Already fighting it off, so Jarrett Davis entering this ball game in the second half with all his energy. He wants to make sure he proves a point today in the second half, the second 45 minutes of the ball game. As Jarrett Davis goes over to Gainier. Gainier quickly finds High King. High King controlling this one. And now I'm hearing Palmiro Salas in the second half. Because that's the Palmiro Salas I know for sure. He's very vocal. He's very communicative with his teams.
And he's saying quick pass, and I agree with the coach that we need to make our pass quicker and much precise.
And of course, Ray, we must inform our Spanish listeners that normally tune in to every Tuesday night for Acción Deportiva. Muy buenas noches a toda nuestra audiencia televisiva, ¿verdad?, en español, que todos los martes son fieles a nuestro programa de Deportes Acción Deportiva, conducido por nuestro compañero Misael González. Pues esta noche, por motivos de este partido, ¿verdad?, de nuestra selección nacional, pues no se transmitirá dicho programa. Pedimos disculpas, ¿verdad?, a toda esa fiel audiencia que nos ve a través de TNC 10, TNC 10, siempre trayéndole lo mejor en deportes y acción deportiva, informándole a cada uno de ustedes. Así de que por cualquier inconveniencia, mil disculpas.
Nelson Mora taking the ball away from Jarrett Davis.
As we see, the Ghanan Norman Anderson on the right flank, defending as he likes to do. As we see Chavez will find Sir Ron Sagastume. And Selvin will go across to the Colombian Anderson Cordova, the captain tonight for the international side. Mora will now go way up there to no one. A blind pass there. Immediately.
He was looking for Alcides Thomas.
Yep, but he was not there, nowhere to be found. As no Victor Mejia, playing that last man right there, last sweeper there, position real good up to this point. High King will go across to find Quillen. Quillen quickly finds Torres. Torres, someone was leaving the ball behind, but he saw that the ball could have ended up in a throw-in. I know the international players have recovered. As we see now Cordova going through the middle. Victor Mejia with pressure. Three national teams, Mejia, Quillen, and Casey.
Got Cordoba finding Melson Mora.
He was pressured to come back.
Yes.
He couldn't go through those three players.
But that's very good decision making by Cordoba.
Exactly, and that's what our national players need to do the same way. If anything, if you see that you're going between too much pressure, just come back. Just retry it again. As we see the first foul in the second half for the international players.
Inri Gonzaga falling.
Jared Davis.
Yes, falling Jared Davis, and that's the guy I'm going to be talking about tomorrow night. Not Jared Davis, but Inri Gonzaga. So I really want the nation to tune into my show tonight. I want the world to tune in tomorrow night, as I will be having an in-depth on the 14-month suspension of Inri Gonzaga from the San Pedro Pirates.
As we see a throw-in coming up, and it will be himself, the same man you're talking about, Inri Gonzaga, will put this one back into play. As number 23, Cordova and Pertus. It's Mora, Pertus. And it will be Cordova now taking control of this one, centering it, trying to connect with Paco Thomas. Guinea helped somewhat there. Defended, but bounced right off, and Cordova collected it, give it over to John King. John King wanted center, trying to look for Texeira, but Victor Mejia came up on top. Our national players now through David Davis and Elroy Smith playing around. They want to put this one as far as they can. They are now in 3/4 of the field. This is where the pressure begins. This is where you prove if you got it or you don't. High King there with Pertus fighting it off. Another fall, and it will be in favor of the national team. Second fall.
Strong play there by High King Roberts against Pertus, as Pertus was holding on to High King Roberts. Let's take a look at this once again. As the play was developing, High King Roberts trying to come back to his midfield, but Pertus was denying him of that opportunity, and in so doing committed the foul, and he was saying like, me? No, you got the wrong guy, and it will be the captain, Elroy Smith, and will he be using Elroy Quillen as a decoy? Let's see how this one will play out for the Jaguars.
As we see, is that Andres McKin right there? Walking it off. And it'll be Elroy Quillen, indeed, Elroy Smith. And something occurred right there. A yellow card will be issued. Yes, and that will be Teixeira. Being given that yellow card up to this point. So first yellow card, and it will be Teixeira from the international players.
Captain will now be talking to the man in the middle, Alan Botes, about the call.
53 minutes unofficially here. And it will be number 12, Teixeira.
So we see Andres McKing Jr. will be checking into the ball game for number 11, and that's Luis Torres. So Luis Torres' job tonight has been completed for the Jaguars, making way for young Andres McKing Jr. from the Police United FC.
That great captain of the Police United, Ray. All right, we must say that player, number 14, Andres McKin, always push hard for his team, and I like the way he's the Elroy Smith of Police United. He's always with a straight shot, really hard shot when it comes to inside the 18-yard box. As the first corner kick of the Jaguars in the second half has been executed, and it's Casey will take this one on the left flank, looking around for Quillen, connects with Quillen. Quillen brings that out beautifully from inside the 18-yard box, and is no Mora. Yes, another foul. And that would be number 3 for the international side.
And was that foul on John King?
Yes. It is on, looks like, again, the TM2 players, Quillen and Smith. Both of them named Elroy. As the referee has
the foul was on Alcides Paco Thomas.
Yes, the referee has shown his whistle, meaning that it's until he gives the permission. 4-man wall right there. Paco Thomas, Cordova, and others in the wall. Let's see who will take this one. Quillen will be, and ooh, fly away.
Got to make good on your free kicks.
And I think Elroy Smith said to him, all right, take this one, no problem. But after that one, I want to see if we would take any more free kicks in this second half, Ray. I think Elroy will take care of that one. But yeah, of course we know Elroy Quillen being a good shooter as well. We won't.
Well, what I would have liked to see off the free kicks is a development, a structured play coming off that rather than just Elroy Smith trying to use his power straight to the goal, or a design play off those free kicks.
Exactly, and I agree with you again, Ray, that this is the type of playing we want to see. An experienced playing, the way a national team should be playing. I mean, there's no young players out there. I mean, in the sense of naive players. They are well experienced players, and these players must prove themselves even more to the nation, because tonight Belize is watching, and Belize wants to see their players playing to a very, very high level. Because whenever they go into the international tournament, obviously, it's this type of playing that they will be finding out there.
And we see a goalkeeping change will be made. It will be number 27, Kieron Rosa. This kid is from the Freedom Fighters team. He'll be getting an opportunity to show what he has when it comes to goalkeeping for our Jaguars.
Yes, and it will be Shin Oreo Moody, that international player. Okay, so I started Woodward West in the list, so I believe he will be coming on for next week's Thursday match, right?
Well, talking to the manager of the national team, he was saying because it is just an international friendly against Grenada that they are not calling in their international players. It's just, so we might not see Michael Salazar coming in, we might not see Woodrow West coming in, and whoever else would have been brought in. But for the tournament in September, then we will be seeing these guys coming on and joining on with our national team.
I will make a commentary, and I hope that the Federation in a way misinterpret my words, but I believe that they should, at least the Grenada one, I believe that Woodward West and the other international players should be here, because that's the only way you will find out the chemistry between players, So a hard shot coming up by High King Roberts there, and I strongly believe, because I've seen other international teams, from other countries, whenever they have a friendly match, they bring out their best. They bring out the players, because friendly matches are for that, to make sure you see what you have at home. Yes, Woodrow West is a good goalkeeper, but what will happen? Will he agree? Will he manage to understand with the line of three that they have tonight, Dalton Neely, Victor Mejia, and Ian Guinier? These are the type of things I believe the friendly matches are for. So, again, I will not enter into any controversy, but in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I believe Woodrow West at least should have come for next week's Thursday match.
Najib Guerra will be checking into the ball game. Elroy Quillen is out for the Jaguars.
So it's 5, and then it's 17 in. Another foul obviously committed there by the international players. Number 4 for them in the second half. As Najib already touching the first one. And quickly, we're seeing the Jaguars moving around. Dalton Ely helping out in that left corner. Guinea will do his best on the right hand. Quickly he finds Danny Jimenez. Danny Jimenez will try to put this under control. He quickly did the centering. He knew that Mora was right on top of him, and he was coming with like a train, right behind him. So he said, what, it's time for me to center this one, and that center didn't come the way he wanted.
That is a situation where you take on that defender one-on-one. Either you come out of there with a foul or with a corner kick.
Yes. And for sure, Danny Jimenez wanted to bounce that one on Mora to see how he can negotiate that corner there. Another change, and this one will be on the international side. And it's Christian Lopez coming in and out. And it'll be number 19 for the international players, and that would be... Hey, we don't have a 19 here, so...
I would think that number 19 is a Belizean, and that's Jonah Castillo.
Okay, so we have Kurt over here, so we have no Castillo. So we'll see. Number 19 is already in, and Christian Lopez from the national team came out. Of course, leaving more opportunities to Belizeans to get in there and begin to shine and begin to get that exposure. They need to show, that they want to be given other opportunities, as another player of a national team will be entering, and that's number 19. Kyle Flowers. And it will be the captain himself exiting, number 8, Elroy Smith.
And I am impressed with that young man right there entering into the ball game. Kyle Flowers, a youngster, you know, have a lot of milk in his teeth when it comes to football.
Yeah.
But this kid career is going to be a bright one.
And this is what I like from Elroy Smith. Look at that. A very experienced, I mean, the leader in the team, he came out happy. He came out calm, not making any sign of anger or anything, displeasure because he was changed, you know.
Yeah, you understand. It's a friendly match,
Yep.
and we need to give the younger players, because Elroy will admit to you, my days is coming near to an end when it comes to national team play or era from behind. Should have done much, much better.
As we see that corner kick coming up by John King, and Chavez just came there and did what he does over the other side, defensive play. All right, so he hit that one out, and it'll be another goal kick coming up for the Jaguars. Quickly, this number 27, Rosa, found Guinea found in return. Number 19, the most recent Kyle Flowers, you know, and it will be Dermot Casey and Dalton fixing something, and Romeo Salas already talking in the second half, saying we need to touch.
Kyle Flowers coming from the Freedom Fighters.
He had to pass himself. What a good player there. And quickly he wanted to find Gira up there, Najib Gira, but Najib made a sign like he wasn't on this side, he should have been on the inner side. So again,
that's where he wanted to go with that header, just a slight tap on the ball, keeping it in play.
Yeah, as we see Jared Davis there pressuring the exit of the international team.
It was our teammate, two Verdes teammate going at it in the likes of Sagastume and Jared Davis.
Yes. Yeah, as we see now, another throw in, and this one will be for the Jaguars. I believe they had a very good shot there, and yeah, look at Jared Davis getting this one, but lost it rather quickly. As we see Ingrid Gonzaga and Cordova now connecting with Mora, Ingrid Gonzaga. As quickly as we've seen it now, is it Danny Jimenez? Danny Jimenez will put this one across to the left-hand side, trying to look for Gira. Gira couldn't make that connection. John King took it over and put it right into Sagastume control. Sagastume would now find someone out there, and it was Texeira. Yes, but Dalton Neely was right all over him.
And John King had that one read all the way off the boot of Daniel Jimenez.
As Colin Westby is getting ready to enter the ball game. Texeira, fall right there by Victor Mejia. You know,
Colin Westby will be checking into the ball game as Alcides Paco Thomas is down. And coming out will be number 7.
Number 7. Silva? But there's
Ian Guinier.
Ian Guinier, yes. I was looking at the international player side. My apologies on that one.
Colin Westby from the Placense Assassins checking into the ball game, and coming out is Ian Guinier of the Belmopan Bandits.
And there goes another one, Tremaine Harris. So all the changes done early in the second half. And a shot going there. Wow, what a shot by Cordova, but immediately Rosa put this one on the left-hand side, and will be another corner kick for the international players. Number 2.
Yes, Rosa, another one of those young freedom fighters' talent.
That's what we want. You know, doesn't matter from what team, as long as they make it to the national team. All right? Let them have as much experience as they can to represent us in the best way up there in the CONCACAF competitions. As you see, the international players gaining the possession. Cordova doing 1, doing 2, but he lost it after that second one. And it's now number 19 there for the national team. Kai Flowers connecting quickly up there. And it's Jared Davis and Hiking. What a play! What a opportunity right there by Hiking, but he just flew it above, and another goal kick for the international players.
Again, a development of play shown there by the Jaguars. Jared Davis swinging that ball into the box after getting that pass. And what Hiking Robert, well, you know, I'm going to come to his defense. The pitch is kind of wet, you know, from from the dew that is falling. So when the ball hit the turf, it picked up more speed than he thought. He thought that the ball was going to steer level with the pitch, but the ball came up on him as he was making that slide into the balls. But decision making, you know, that is what makes you a great player in the game of football, when you can make the right decision on the dime.
When you can read players as well. So again, it's a friendly match, and players being tested today, as Andres McKean right there trying to change it over. Teixeira, pressure by Andres McKean, and it's this number 16 right here, one of the recent entries, Colin Westby. As John King is down. He has managed to pick up. All right, Danny Jimenez and John King are up. There's a player down, and that's Norman Anderson is down. As the medical assistants quickly get there.
Unofficially, 6 to 7 minutes elapsing in the ball game. And it's time for that little water break. You know, most of the players coming over to their bench, rehydrating. Still a 0-0 ball game. Just to mention once again that next week, Tuesday night, the Jaguars will be going up against a selection from the PLB right here at the Isidoro Beaton Stadium in Belmopan, and on the 22nd of March, I should say, and that's on a Thursday night. They will be going up against Grenada. Ticket prices, if you purchase now, is $15. On game day at the booth, it will be $20.
When you say PLB players, Ray, and I want to clear that one for myself and for the audience out there, you mean no international players be a part of that game, right?
No international players will be.
Players that play in the PLB.
It will be a selection from the PLB.
Okay, so for all those that were, you know, somewhat had a little question mark there, we clear that one. That it will be PLB players, but not international players that play in the PLB. So got that one off, and tonight that's the night for the international players to have the opportunity to show what they have here. And up to this point, well, it's a 0-0 ball game. A lot of changing of playing here from both teams, and yet we're still waiting for the promised one, the goal, you know. So two great opportunities, one call offside, and the other one will bounce off the crossbar, which we mentioned that it should be bent.
And what we should be seeing is, I think, about 4 fresh legs came into the ball game for the Jaguars compared to 1 for the international players. And yet we are not seeing that type of football that I am waiting for to see from the Jaguars.
Yes, I agree with you. And I think that these fresh legs should have a change, a complete change on the national team. And we seem to be seeing otherwise that is the opponent, you know, that in the second half are doing somewhat the playing and the ball controlling. So the Jaguars need to fix up once and for all and begin to pressure this international players team.
I mean, look at that just a while ago. Anderson Cordoba wiping off both Jarrett Davis and Tremaine Harris.
Shot there by the number 19 of the Jaguars, Kyle Flowers, but that went straight to the hands of Selvin Sagastumi, the Honduran goalkeeper.
But that's what we need to see. We need to see shots on goal by our Jaguars. And coming off the bench, Kyle Flowers getting into the action.
And Tremaine Harris pressuring that one right there, even though he was already in control of that, of the number 22 goalkeeper, Selvin Sagastume. As we see Ingrid Gonzaga on the other side, looking over for someone. He found Teixeira. Teixeira will put this one right back to Pertus, as they lost it again, and it will be Tremaine Harris. Tremaine Harris finding someone, looking for someone. He found Jarrett Davis. Jarrett Davis wants to take a hard shot. Well, it was a soft shot that came out at the end of the day, and it will be another goal kick coming up for the international players.
I think the work for Coach Palmira Salas in the next week or two before that friendly against Grenada is going to be a tedious one from what I'm seeing tonight. So far, nothing have changed from the first half of this ball game.
Yep. So I believe that he would have to fix up something in every line. I mean, the defensive line, we must say that they are working very in coordination, as we see. So Rosa going up there, again, showing that he has a lot of vertical approach to the goalkeeping. And the defense side, the defense line of the national team, I must say, it's playing really in coordination. The middle need to be a little bit tighter, you know, not only receiving the ball from the defense line, but also distributing it up there, trying to find that open player. Forwards will have to go around their defender that's on them, you know, to create spaces, to be seen then, to be shown in the forward, so that that midfielder, that offensive midfielder, can see them, and that way they can be passed over.
What we need to see is midfielders that will come at the midfield line and pick up the ball from the defense, and then start to create possession or opportunities, I should say, for the strikers. We are not seeing that. When the defense have the ball, you see the defenders, they are playing the ball from the center to the left, and then they go back to the center and then to the right, because of the fact that the midfield is not pushing up to receive the ball from the defenders. That we will have to see change, and hopefully next week, Tuesday, we'll be seeing a different approach by the Jaguars when they go up against the PLB players.
We need to see at least that creative midfielder that can be very fast, you know, that can think quick.
And that's what I love about young Jordi Polanco when he was playing for the Belmopan Bandits. Jordi Polanco is that player that will come to the defense, pick up that ball, and he will dictate the pace of the game.
Yes.
He is so missing from football here in the country of Belize. He knows when to push, and he knows when to slow the game down.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about, Ray. That when you find a player like that, that's one of the things that the national team is in urgent need right now. That that creative midfield, as I would call it, that would create new opportunities and think fast. You know, slow down, do it fast, see around, calling people, calling other players. These are the type of playing we want to see. But up to this point tonight, at least, areas such as that one needs to be fixed by Parmelo Salas. Of course, I was number 5 when it comes to the foul, as we see more right here.
Foul was against Jared Davis.
And another foul coming up for the Jaguars as well. Then Casey and Andres McKin connecting with number 19 there. Cal Flowers and Tremaine Harris. But it will be Mora.
What I'm seeing tonight also, Freddie, is first touch. We don't have that first touch. And for us to compete at the higher level, or for us to compete in our region, Central America, we need to have control of that first touch. We saw that just a while ago with Tremaine Harris. Instead of Tremaine playing the ball played Tremaine Harris.
Yes. And I don't know, many times I see players a bit afraid of playing that first touch. I mean, and that insecurity will have to disappear, you know. And as we see Andres McKin bunking this one off young Norman Anderson, you know, and getting a corner kick for the national team.
Andres McKin splitting 2 defenders there for the international team and coming over with a corner kick. Let's see what will happen off the kick.
Already played with Casey. Casey goes back to Andres McKin. He centers now. As the Jared Davis waiting for it. Goal! Goal! Number 10, Jared Davis putting this one now to 1-0 ball game in favor of the Jaguars.
Again, a beautiful development of play off a set piece. And that is what you want to see. The ball came out off the corner kick, and the ball was swung into the box, finding an open Jared Davis, who all he had to do was guide that ball in the back of the net with that header to give the Jaguars a 1-0 lead.
He went very high for that one, collected it up there, and just gave it the best out of the center. And it's now a 1-0 ball game in favor of the Jaguars, and this is what we were waiting for. Now we'll see what the international players will do from here on. We'll see if they want to tie this match, if they will open themselves to leave some spaces around. And the Jaguars take advantage of these spaces as well. Mora will put this one. Well, so Mora looking around. He found his countryman, Paco Thomas. Paco Thomas trying to elude Victor Mejia, but he will run out of real estate.
I'm telling you, Parker Thomas is a very tough character, but when you run into a player like Victor Mejia, it's mano y mano.
Yes, as we see the replay right there, where Jared Davis went up really high to collect that one and hit it as hard as he could to make sure he gets where he wanted, and that's behind the net.
And you know, the reality is about this national team, it will get better when you see players like Dion McCauley, because we haven't called Dion McCauley name, but we know Dion McCauley, as much as you don't want to say, or people might not want to acknowledge anymore, he is the Belize best offensive player that we have. And so when Dion McCauley comes in into town to join on with the national team, and then you have Michael Salazar, and then you have Woodrow West, so our team will get better.
Yes, and that's what we're expecting, and that's why I was saying we should have brought them into play next week Thursday. But again, the federation knows best. We'll see if these players, whenever they get the opportunity, if they will get to understand each other and have that communication. Third foul right there by the national team, as Mora will put this one back to Chavez. Chavez will look around, goes to the center to Pertus. Pertus immediately goes over to Ingrid Gonzaga, the Mexican. And he finds Teixeira, the Brazilian, on the center. It goes right back to Gonzaga. And another foul, number 4, for the Jaguars in the second half.
Yes, Najib Guerra getting a little bit too aggressive.
Over Gonzaga, eh? That's it, yeah, there we see. Najib Guerra over Gonzaga. At least 2 of the same height, same build. As you see, Pertus will take this one in. Centers in there. And as Paco Thomas is complaining that he was pushed inside the 18-yard box. Obviously, you know why, right? He wants to buy that penalty there. Tremaine Harris and Danny Jimenez. Danny Jimenez put it right back on Tremaine Harris. And Tremaine has that power there that makes Mora fall over. And Danny Jimenez will kick this one to the back. And Andres McCain will take the shot, but too high above the crossbar.
Yes, Daniel Jimenez was not in the right position when he received that ball in the box, but he knew that Andres McCain Jr. was lurking behind him, and so he went with the heel pass, but Andres couldn't control his momentum coming to the ball, and that's the reason why that ball just floated over the crossbar.
Yeah, and that's another opportunity inside the 18-yard box that the national team is getting. As referee is talking to Mora. Yes, he will.
A red card? A red card. A red card for
that would have been a
Mora. And we will have to take a look at that once again as how...
yeah, it is a red. He would have to walk out of the field. So when he mentioned something I cannot repeat. I mean, he said a word right there.
And he's still going at the first assistant, Adrian that's Juan Calendres.
So a red card for... in the minute 79 for that would be Mora. So Martha Mora, and tonight, well, I believe they will not play. Yeah, well, yeah. The 4th referee is looking at Mora. He will have to exit the entire playing area. You know, as he shakes hands with 4th referee. And yes, he needs to exit the entire playing area, go back to the lockers, and yes, now the game will continue.
Moilson Mora red carded out of the ball game. Not a happy camper for the international team, and he was playing a very good defense for the team.
Moilson, something he said there, and for sure I read in his lips coming this way, a word that obviously I cannot repeat because of our audience, and it wasn't the most appropriate one. Okay. So obviously that was out of anger, as John King trying to head this one over to Paco Thomas, but in the way was Dalton Ely.
Let's see what the Jaguars can do now with unofficially 80 minutes elapsing here in the ball game, and the international team being 1 player down.
Yes, I probably think that right this moment the coach for the international side, Peter Jones, will bring in Roberto Silva. You know, I believe they have Roberto Silva on the bench. We'll see if he gets a few minutes. And I want to see now the national team playing against 10 players. What reaction will they have? As Christian Lopez moves around, but he obviously have had his share of the game, and he cannot re-enter the ball game. Casey playing in the center, finds Jared Davis. Norman Anderson on top of Jared Davis. He manages to turn around and pass the one, but we see Chavez getting in the way between Tremaine Harris and the Davis there. So again, players getting an opportunity but not being able to capitalize, as Sagastume had to commit there very fast and hard because that ball was already eluding the defender Norman Anderson.
Gabriel Chavez closed in quick on Tremaine Harris, or else it would have been the second goal for the Jaguars. Brilliant reading of defense by Gabriel Chavez to disrupt that play between Jared Davis and Tremaine Harris.
As you know, Andres McKean, Nigeria, and McKean again. His pressure there by Pertus. The national team was pressured to go back, and it's now number 16, Rollin Westby, who will now go up, but no one will be there to receive, as Ingrid Gonzalez will just allow that one to exit.
And this is what I don't want to see from the national team. You're up 1 goal. You have about 9-10 minutes remaining in the ball game. What I want to see now is ball control. That Colin Westby trying to go to the left side of the pitch, he could have came back to Victor Mejia and let the international guys push up and then create opening spaces on the offensive side of the pitch. And so we would have to see how they play this last 10 minutes of this game, using their mind, you know, and making the right decisions.
Yes, indeed. And they are playing against 10 players. This is one thing that I have to add again, that they are already we should be seeing the national team having more possession. Yet they cannot pass this same area right here. Look at it. We have Demarcasi, yes, will now enter. But see what happens? They lose the ball right there at 3/4 of the game.
You bring pressure on your defense when you do that. That ball should have came all the way back to the defense, if not all the way back to the goalkeeper.
Of course. But that's not the way Demarcasi taught it. And it's John King on this side for the international players. Wanted to go back over to Teixeira, to Alonso Teixeira, and there's no Paco Thomas in control. He has the pressure from Andres McKean. Dalton Neely, he enters the area. Goal! Goal! Paco Thomas, number 11. Just adding one more to the game, and it's a 1-1 ball game.
But I talk about recognition. Recognition is the key to success when you have a 1-goal lead with 7-8 minutes remaining in the ball game. That's when you spread the field. That means that you go to the open player. If you have to bring that ball all the way back to your goalkeeper, then do that. What they did just a while ago was give up possession easily to the international guys, and what they did, they capitalized Alcides Thomas making that one-man effort against the defense of the Jaguars and managed to score the equalizing goal. And so, again, Coach Palmiro Salas will have to work with his team on that when we are up a goal or two and time is on our side, let's utilize what we have on our side.
Do what exactly the Bandits do here inside this Urban Stadium is widen the field, making the opponent be chasing the ball around. And just a while ago, our defensive line was tested, and I must say, they failed. All right, because we had Andres McKean behind Paco Thomas, Dalton Neely committed himself, then Victor Mejia came into the picture, Naive Guerra was there as well, and 4 against 1, and yet Paco Thomas was able to take out that shot, and that way equalize in the match here after some 84 minutes. At that moment, we are already 85 minutes into the ball game.
Now, what the Jaguars have done is put pressure on themselves trying to score. Again, King Roberts had a wide open Colin Westby, but he don't have no confidence in bringing the ball back to his defense.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. See, again, Paco Thomas winning over Colin Westby, and Colin will have to make sure he begins to do that pressure, you know, on players such as Paco Thomas and not give away possession that easy. And yes, exactly what you were saying as well, that whenever you see an open player, the towers need to see how they can pass to that player. Danny Jimenez in control. He goes over to number 19. That would be Carl